Hey everyone, and welcome back to our podcast.
I'm so excited for today's episode because we're diving into a topic that some of you have asked about.
Welcome to the Infinity English Podcast. Here you'll find C2 Fluency clinics, native listening practice, and the ultimate roadmap to advanced communication. So let's start today's podcast.
Sarah, I want to start with a question for our listeners. Do you feel your English listening skills are stuck at 70%? Do you understand most of the words but constantly miss the meaning when native speakers speed up?
That 70% gap is not a vocabulary problem, Sarah. It's a processing problem. Your brain is waiting for the words to finish before it acts. And that delay, that critical half second of silence, is what causes the failure.
Exactly. This gap is why we are here. Today, we are revealing 5 secrets to active listening for English, techniques used by cognitive linguists and interpreters to dramatically speed up comprehension.
If you want to unlock your brain's full potential and finally move past the need for subtitles, this 5,000-word masterclass is your roadmap. We'll teach you how to listen like a native.
Welcome to the Infinity English Podcast. We are diving deep into active listening. Most learners practice passive listening, Netflix in the background, music while driving. That builds familiarity, but it doesn't build processing speed. We need active techniques.
Active listening means treating the speaker's voice not as an endpoint, but as input data that your brain must aggressively process in real time. It's a performance sport for the mind.
Secret 1, the prediction engine, anticipation. Sarah, let's start with the most vital secret, the prediction engine. Native speakers don't listen word by word. They predict. Their brain is always 1 to 2 seconds ahead of the speaker. Why is anticipation so essential for listening comprehension, Alex?
It's a matter of cognitive efficiency. When you predict the next likely word or grammatical structure, you prime your brain's neural networks. When the predicted word arrives, your brain doesn't have to work hard to process it. It simply confirms it. This frees up cognitive space to focus on the next idea, not the last word.
So the prediction engine bypasses the brain's internal lag. How should a C1 listener start practicing this predictive listening?
Start with grammatical prediction. Listen to the first few words of a sentence. If you hear, "despite the compelling evidence," your brain should immediately predict a structure of contrast, like, "the committee decided to postpone the vote." You don't have to know the content, but you must predict the grammar.
And the second phase?
Semantic prediction. This is content-based. If the speaker is discussing the stock market's recent volatility, you should be predicting C2 vocabulary like recession, mitigation, fiscal policy, or rebound. This allows you to process the key concepts without translating every single word. Mastering prediction is the ultimate secret to breaking the 70% barrier.
4. Secret 2. The note-taking filter. Active information processing. Alex, in a typical classroom setting, we are taught to write down everything. But in real-time, high-speed listening, like a university lecture or a complex business meeting, trying to capture every word is a recipe for failure. What's the active listening secret here?
The secret is the note-taking filter. You must train your brain to filter the input and prioritize only the crucial content words, the structural data, while ignoring the low-value function words. This is a cognitive discipline that saves processing power.
So a C1 learner shouldn't be writing the entire sentence? What specific information should the filter be set to capture?
Focus on key structural points. Your pen should only move for nouns and proper nouns. The subject matter, AI, economy, corporate liability. Strong verbs. The action, disrupted, synthesized, mitigated. Discourse markers, the logic, however, consequently, furthermore. By logging only these high-value items, you force your brain to discard the low-value filler words like the, an, is, was. This keeps you mentally ahead of the speaker.
That makes sense. If you capture the nouns and the transition words, you can reconstruct the entire argument later. This ensures you maintain global comprehension even if you miss a few individual words.
Exactly. And the advanced version of this drill is symbol substitution. Don't write the word increase, draw an upward arrow. Don't write because, draw 3 dots in a triangle. You are creating a direct, non-linguistic link between the sound and the concept, bypassing the need to write out the full English word. This significantly accelerates processing speed.
5. Secret 3. The Acoustic Mapping Drill. Phonological training. Now let's address the biggest practical barrier: speed and clarity. When native speakers connect words, linking, and reduction, the speech stream sounds like noise. This is where the acoustic mapping drill comes in. How does this technique train the ear to hear connected speech as clear language?
This is purely phonological training. The reason learners struggle is that their brains expect the textbook pronunciation, going to, but the speaker delivers the reduced form, gonna. The acoustic map of the sound is wrong. The drill is threefold. Isolation. Choose a short clip of 30 seconds of fast, connected native speech. Transcription. Write down exactly what you hear, not what you think it means. Write gonna, have to, and pick it up. Mapping. Then map the phonetic distortion back to the original text. You are creating a conscious link. I hear have to, but I know it means have to.
This makes the difference visible. By seeing the contrast between the expected form and the spoken form, you actively rewire your internal acoustic map. What are the specific phonological patterns listeners should map first?
Prioritize the 3 biggest fluency killers. Vowel reduction, schwa. Mapping the disappearance of vowels in function words, to, for, and. Contractions. Mapping want to wanna, or is going to gonna. Consonant linking. Mapping how the final consonant of one word links to the initial vowel of the next. Turn it off becomes turn it off.
Secret 4. The context filter, eliminating ambiguity. Alex, a major confidence killer for advanced listeners is ambiguity. You hear a word, but in fast speech, you're unsure if the speaker said for, or for. This confusion forces the brain to backtrack, destroying momentum. The solution is the context filter.
This is a high-level cognitive tool. The brain should not try to decipher every sound in isolation. Instead, it must rely on semantic field and grammatical role. For instance, if the conversation is about fiscal policy and you hear a sound like tax or tasks, your brain should immediately prioritize tax because it belongs to the active semantic field of finance.
So the filter uses the global topic to eliminate acoustically similar but semantically irrelevant words. This is a massive time saver. How do we practice reinforcing this filter?
Use the topic priming drill. Before listening to any C1 material, a podcast, an expert interview, take 30 seconds to brainstorm 6 high-value C2 nouns and verbs related to the topic. For example, if the topic is climate change, you should prime words like mitigation, irreversible, sustainability, and deployment. When you hear these words or their synonyms, your brain is already ready to accept and process them instantly, skipping the processing lag.
This shifts the listener from a passive receiver to an active participant who knows what kind of language to expect. This predictive processing eliminates much of the ambiguity caused by fast speech. Secret 5. The challenge test. Sustained concentration. Our final secret is crucial for endurance. In real-world communication, you can't rewind. You must maintain concentration. We call this the challenge test. Why is it vital to constantly listen to material that is deliberately difficult?
Because true mastery isn't achieved by staying in your comfort zone. The challenge test forces you to confront the 70% wall. If you understand 90% of the material, you're practicing for comprehension. If you understand only 70 to 80%, you're practicing for acquisition and skill development. You must regularly attempt material that forces you to use the note-taking filter and the prediction engine simultaneously.
What is the most effective challenge test drill?
The 2-minute relocation. Listen to 2 minutes of highly dense, unfamiliar content, e.g., a highly dense academic abstract or a rapid-fire legal summary. Your only goal is to capture 3 key phrases and the conclusion. After 2 minutes, stop and immediately try to relocate the topic in your own words. This drill specifically trains your working memory and filtering skills under high cognitive load.
This is the ultimate training for real-world stress, forcing the brain to function even when data input is incomplete. Sarah, we've successfully unlocked the 5 secrets to active listening: the prediction engine, the note-taking filter, the acoustic mapping drill, the context filter, and the challenge test.
These are the cognitive tools you need to break the 70% comprehension barrier. Stop listening passively, start processing actively.
Your final challenge this week: commit to the acoustic mapping drill for 15 minutes every day. Choose one reduced phrase like gonna and track its appearance in your listening material. Make the invisible visible.
Thank you for joining us. Keep challenging your comprehension.